Hello, kiddos. The book we are going to read today is called Floating on Mama's Song by Laura Lacamara. This story is about a little girl who finds out about a secret in her family. Something happens that causes a problem with that secret. We need to read and find out what they do to help solve the problem. My mama loves to sing. Her singing was always a happy part of everyday life, but everything changed the day after my 7th birthday. When I got home from school that day, the delicious smell of fried plantains and black beans hung in the air. Mama was singing a song from Carmen, her favorite opera. When I ran into the kitchen, I froze. Mama was floating in the air. Outside, our dog Tito was floating above the ground too. Mama stopped singing and landed with a thump. Boom. Tito fell. Mama, you and Tito were flying, I squealed. It's been happening all day, Anita, every time I sing. Singing makes me so happy. I guess Tito likes it too. We laughed as she hugged me. I wondered if my grandma knew about the amazing thing that happens when Mama sings. Or Orlando, my little brother. The next day, when Grandma came over for lunch, Mama was singing. Suddenly, I was halfway to the ceiling, feeling a giggle in my belly as Mama's voice rose like a golden staircase. Mama held Orlando's hand as their feet swayed above the floor. Isabel, yelled Grandma, what's going on? Every time I sing, whoever hears my singing floats, Mama explained. This is not right, Isabel. You must stop singing, she declared. You and the children could get hurt, and what will the neighbors say? 2 days later, 3 nosy neighbors knocked at our door. I couldn't find my pig this morning. Then I saw him floating in front of your kitchen window, shouted Miss Jimenez. My goat, too, cried Mrs. Hernandez. I saw her flying in your yard. I heard my cow mooing from next door, whined Mrs. Gonzalez, and there she was, up in the air. Grandma turned to Mama. Isabel, you must promise never to sing again. I don't want to hurt anyone, Mama said. I promise. And that was that. But with each day that passed, Mama grew sadder and sadder. Orlando and I tried to cheer her up, but nothing seemed to work. Then the neighbors who had complained came by to visit. My cow isn't giving milk. My pig isn't eating. My goat isn't sleeping. I'm sorry about your animals, but I promised I wouldn't sing, said Mama, and the 3 ladies went home. Everyone was miserable. Mama wouldn't laugh or even smile anymore. Can you help her? I asked the healer who lived down the street. I will throw these coconut shells and see what they tell us, said the healer. She peered at the way the shells had fallen. There's nothing I can do. Your mama's spirit is sick. There must be a way to make Mama smile again, I thought. Just then, something caught my eye. What's in that pretty box, Grandma? Old family photos, she said. Maybe you can find a picture of your mama when she was a little girl. I opened the dusty box. It smelled sweet like sugar cane. Closing my eyes, I pulled out a photograph. It's perfect! I thanked her as I ran out the door. Mama! I shouted. I have a surprise for you. I handed her the photo. Mama's eyes opened wide. I remember when this picture was taken. The mangoes were ripe and music was in the air. You know, Anita, when I was your age, your grandma used to sing too. I can almost hear her voice now. I miss those happy times. I turned and I saw Grandma. Look at this picture, I said. What happened that day? How could I forget, Grandma said. The cow got stuck high up in the mango tree. I was afraid the neighbors would find out it was my fault, so I never sang again. My heart is a bitter grapefruit. Grandma turned to Mama. All the women in our family sing, and each is granted the gift of floating. When her firstborn daughter turned 7, I was foolish, Isabel. I don't want you and Anita to be like me. I wanted Grandma to be happy again. I began to sing. My silly tune made Grandma smile. Grandma started humming, and then, in a rusty voice, she started to sing. Her voice became sweeter as we both rose from the ground. Mama laughed and laughed. Her voice tumbled out like a waterfall until it became the most beautiful song. And with that, Mama sang a high note and rose up until she and Grandma touched the top of the mango tree. They laughed out loud. Now Mama sings every day. Our family is happiest when Mama sings, and we all float on Mama's song. The end.